Governor Kasich made it very clear how he felt about teachers' union. He wanted to get organized labor out of the classroom.
Teachers are the professional advocates for kids.
American education is the foundation of this country's greatness. And when we start picking and choosing kids, when we start picking and choosing neighborhoods, when we start picking and choosing based on race, based on socioeconomic situations, we lose. We lose as a country.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You obviously feel very strongly about Maury High School and the difference it made to you. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the impact was of your attendance there?
I was paying more attention in government class with Mr. Armstrong than I did anybody else, and I remember he didn't like Congress back then either, but but he was an outspoken man with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm, and he grabbed me in the classroom. The way he spoke, the way he presented his material. And the conversation back then was one that was geared towards understanding and accepting and realizing that mistakes had been made, and realizing and having that conversation that we as a country needed to understand and grasp how severe it was bringing races together and moving forward. And I tell you what, one of the greatest experiences of my life was going to an integrated high school. Back in 1969, 70, and 71, I graduated in the spring of 72. I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. We can overcome barriers, and that's what I learned. And that communication is so important, and we have a responsibility. I grew up when my mother would come home and fix dinner, and she'd talk about what kind of day she had in the classroom. And I remember my mother staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, grading papers and doing lesson plans and spending her weekends. And I remember my mother coming home on Friday afternoon exhausted and thinking that she's going to spend her whole weekend, grading papers and doing lesson plans. I mean, that was the life, because my mother wanted to make sure she did a good job and she loved her students. When I first came to the network job at MSNBC in 2009, I was amazed at the network conversation and the lack of respect towards the profession of teaching. And number one, I didn't like it. I knew it wasn't correct. And it was against my culture. And I knew better. And I knew that teachers weren't any different from my mother. Because that's not human nature. Because the people that go into this profession, they're the unselfish Americans. They're the unselfish Americans. And we have put the teachers in this country in the crosshairs and made them the villain. Why? Because there are conservative governors out there who have decided that they can cut 6,000 teachers in a heartbeat and not have to pay consequences for it, because they have major corporations that want to privatize everything that's going to line their pockets for the next election. Well, I'm furious with Rahm Emanuel and what's happening in Chicago. It is un-American. We're picking and choosing neighborhoods. We're picking and choosing kids. And that's not right. That's not opportunity for all. And I don't care what it costs to resource a low-income neighborhood. You can't go raise the property taxes on those folks that don't make a lot of money. So we're going to cut their resources and we're going to shut their schools. As a matter of fact, we're going to close 50 of them in Chicago. And that's supposed to be a solution for America's youth? I don't believe that's the truth. I don't believe that that's the right way to go. And so, Making a Difference celebration, Ed Schultz honors Maury High School for the positive impact the school made in his life. Tom, congratulations for your 17 years of teaching in the Norfolk school system and your leadership with the American Federation of Teachers of the Norfolk chapter. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Norfolk and Maury High School means a lot to me, and I appreciate what you do for the teachers.